English podcast and tech. I am Charles. Good to have you back. Today we meet one of the most beloved figures in the history of technology. Not because he was the richest, not because he was the most famous, but because he built things for the pure joy of building them. While Bill Gates saw computers as a business opportunity, this man saw them as something else entirely, as the most beautiful puzzle a human mind could solve. His name is Steve Wozniak, and without him, there would be no Apple. This is episode 15 of The People Who Built the Digital World. Let's begin. Today we have 8 keywords, but instead of presenting them all at once, I will group them into pairs, 2 words at a time, because they connect naturally. The first pair is hardware and software. Hardware means the physical parts of a computer, the chips, the circuits, the keyboard, the screen, things you can touch. Software means the programs and instructions that run on the hardware, things you cannot touch, but that make the hardware useful. Steve Wozniak was a hardware genius. He could design circuits that other engineers said were impossible. Repeat after me: hardware, software. The second pair is elegant and efficient. Elegant means beautiful and simple, achieving something complex with minimal effort or parts. Efficient means using as little time, energy, or resources as possible to get the best result. Wozniak's circuits were famous for being both elegant and efficient. He could build something with 30 chips that other engineers needed 80 chips to do. Repeat after me: elegant, efficient. The third pair is co-found and partnership. To co-found means to start a company together with another person. A partnership is a close working relationship between 2 or more people. Steve Wozniak and Steve Jobs co-founded Apple together in 1976. Their partnership was one of the most famous in tech history. Wozniak built the technology, Jobs sold it to the world. Repeat after me: co-found, partnership. The fourth pair is donate and generous. To donate means to give something, money, time, or resources, to help others. Generous means willing to give more than expected. After leaving Apple, Wozniak donated millions of dollars to schools and educational programs. He also donated much of his Apple stock to his employees, people who had not received stock options when Apple went public. Repeat after me: donate, generous. 8 words in 4 pairs: hardware and software, elegant and efficient, co-found and partnership, donate and generous. Now let's hear his story. The year is 1950. In San Jose, California, in the heart of what will later become Silicon Valley, a boy is born. His name is Stephen Gary Wozniak. Everyone calls him Woz. Woz grows up in Sunnyvale, California, a quiet suburban town surrounded by fruit orchards that will one day be replaced by technology companies. His father is an engineer at Lockheed, an aerospace company. From a very young age, his father teaches him the fundamentals of electronics. Woz is a natural. By the age of 10, he is building his own electronic circuits. By 12, he builds his first computer from scratch, using parts he collects himself. The computer wins first prize at a local science fair. His teacher cannot believe a 12-year-old built it. At school, Woz is shy and socially awkward. He is much more comfortable with machines than with people. But he has one extraordinary gift: the ability to look at an electronic circuit and immediately see how to make it simpler, faster, and more elegant. At Homestead High School in Cupertino, Woz meets a younger student who is his opposite in every way. The younger student is loud, charismatic, and intensely focused on people and persuasion. His name is Steve Jobs. Woz and Jobs become close friends, an unlikely partnership between a brilliant engineer and a visionary salesman. In the early 1970s, Woz begins attending meetings of the Homebrew Computer Club, an informal group of electronics enthusiasts in the San Francisco Bay Area. At one meeting, someone shows the group an early personal computer kit, the Altair 8800, the same machine that inspired Bill Gates and Paul Allen. Woz looks at the Altair and thinks, I can build something better than this. He goes home and starts designing. He works late into the night, night after night. He designs a computer that is smaller, simpler, and more elegant than anything that exists. Where other engineers need dozens of chips to perform a function, Woz finds a way to do it with a fraction of the components. His circuits are works of art, not just because they work, but because of how they work. Every unnecessary part removed, every function optimized. In 1975, Woz completes the design of what will become the Apple I. He brings it to a Homebrew Computer Club meeting and demonstrates it. The audience is stunned. Woz's original intention is to share the design for free. He wants to give it to the community, just like the members of the club share ideas with each other. Steve Jobs has a different idea. Jobs sees the Apple I not as a gift to share, but as a product to sell. He convinces Woz to co-found a company. They will build and sell computers. To raise money to start the company, Jobs sells his Volkswagen van. Woz sells his beloved HP scientific calculator, a calculator he loves deeply. Together, they raise $1,300. On April 1st, 1976, April Fool's Day, Apple Computer is founded. A local computer store places an order for 50 Apple I units. Woz builds them by hand at the Jobs family garage in Los Altos, California. The Apple I is sold as a bare circuit board. Customers have to add their own keyboard, power supply, and screen. But it works, and it is elegant. Woz immediately begins working on something better. The Apple II. The Apple II, launched in 1977, is a complete revolution. It comes fully assembled. It has a color display. It has a keyboard. It has a slot for programs on cassette tape. It is the first personal computer that an ordinary person, with no technical knowledge, can take out of a box and use. The Apple II becomes one of the most successful products in the history of technology. It sells for 16 years, from 1977 to 1993. It introduces millions of people to personal computing for the first time. Many of today's technology leaders, engineers, entrepreneurs, designers, say the Apple II was the first computer they ever used. In 1981, Woz is seriously injured in a small airplane accident. He loses some of his memory temporarily and takes time away from Apple to recover. He returns to Apple briefly, but the company has changed. It is no longer the small, passionate team building things for the love of it. It is a large corporation. In 1985, Woz leaves Apple, the same year Steve Jobs is forced out by the board of directors. Woz does something that surprises many people. He does not start another company. He does not try to get rich again. He becomes a teacher. He spends years teaching computer classes to elementary school children for free. He donates millions of dollars to schools. He donates much of his Apple stock to employees who had been left out of the company's initial public offering. People who work with Woz consistently describe him the same way, the most generous person they have ever met. Today, Steve Wozniak is celebrated not just as a great engineer, but as a great human being. He built the technology that launched one of the most valuable companies in history. And he did it not for money, but because building elegant, efficient machines was the thing he loved most in the world. Let's review today's 8 words in the 4 pairs we learned. Hardware and software. Hardware is the physical parts of a computer. Software is the programs that run on it. Wozniak was a hardware genius. His circuits were unlike anything anyone had seen. Elegant and efficient. Elegant means beautiful and simple. Efficient means using minimal resources for maximum results. Wozniak's designs were both, and that is what made them extraordinary. Co-found and partnership. To co-found means to start a company together. A partnership is a close working relationship. Wozniak and Jobs co-founded Apple, a partnership between a builder and a seller. Donate and generous. To donate means to give to help others. Generous means giving more than expected. After leaving Apple, Wozniak donated millions to schools and gave his stock to employees who had been left out. That is the story of Steve Wozniak, the engineer who built the machine that launched Apple, and who never stopped being the most generous person in the room. A boy who built computers for the love of it. A genius who gave his ideas away. A billionaire who became a teacher. Today's phrase to remember is, the best engineers build things for the love of it. Wozniak never cared about money. He cared about the elegance of the circuit, the beauty of the design, the joy of solving an impossible problem. Repeat after me. The best engineers build things for the love of it. One more time. The best engineers build things for the love of it. In the next episode, we meet Steve Jobs, Wozniak's partner, and the man who turned Apple's technology into a cultural revolution. Your question for today in English: do you think it is more important to build something great or to make money from it? Why? Write your answer in the comments. It is a great topic for practicing comparison and opinion in English. See you in episode 16. This is Charles, and this is English Podcast and Tech.